digital media versus physical media. We've all been beating that dead horse for quite some time now. Let's get into it. Okay, digital versus physical media. Me, I stand on the physical media side. I have no beef, no quarrel with digital. Digital is very convenient. It became very convenient over the years. You still have that division of people that prefer your physical media and your digital media. Me, I'm all the way physical, but I also support digital. So basically, even though I prefer physical and I go for physical games for the most part, I still buy digital. I have more digital games than physical games because, I mean, let's face it. I mean, on the eShop, Game Pass, or the PS Store, you know, a game costs anywhere from $60 to $70, right? If you take $100 can actually get you several games that are on sale. The digital games are cheaper. You can find games that's $10, $20, $30. I mean ridiculous cheap prices. So common sense is going to tell you, of course, you're going to go for the more cheaper digital route. That makes more sense. Now, if it's a game that I really like, I end up buying the digital and physical version. And usually the digital versions comes out first and then the physical comes out later, which I do hate. So it forces you to double dip, but I double dip anyway. Always get digital and physical for the games I like. I love my physical copies. I'm old school like that. A hard copy will last forever. With a digital game, yes, you can always re-download a digital game even after the console. Well, at least sometimes you can re-download the digital games, but sometimes when, you know, Nintendo or PlayStation or Xbox move on, sometimes you can't re-download those digital games. You know, licenses get involved, developers snatch a game from off the game store, and that title is lost forever. With a physical copy, you will always have that, and you can also dump your games and reproduce those titles that developers pulled from the stores anytime you want. So that's a good thing. And also with physical games, the resale value will always be more. It'll always be higher, and it'll always be there. With digital, you can't sell air unless you're going to sell your whole system with all your digital games and your email attached to it. And I don't know about you guys, but you know, all my consoles actually uses my main email that I use. And I'm not going to give away my main email. I will not sell my main email. So I guess it's actually kind of smart too, if you're gonna sign up for, you know, Game Pass or the PlayStation Store or Nintendo eShop, is to make an actual gaming email. That makes more sense. But nonetheless, all my titles from all my consoles is tied to my main email, just to avoid the confusion. But you know, you can always sell your physical games. Like, look, my game, I have thousands of games. So right now, in the future, if ever I start playing video games, or you know, my taste changes, our taste changes as we get older, and I want to minimize my video game collection, I can sell a quarter of my library, or even half of my physical library, or 75% of my physical library, and get thousands of dollars for it. I saw a guy on YouTube, he actually sold, for example, he sold his whole Nintendo Switch collection for about $10,000. That's a huge come up. And see, that's the thing. And being that we're getting further and further into the digital age, as the years go on, with the next console or two, if consoles are still a thing, I think consoles are still going to be a thing. They're not going to go anywhere, as much as, you know, these big corporate companies want them to go away. When consoles finally go all digital, that's when physical games are going to work quadruple times more than what they're worth right now. And I bet you, I can almost guarantee, when we finally do reach that digital age where everything is all digital and streaming, And these corporations have controls over the games that we play, when we play, and we need an internet connection. Watch how everybody cries and retract their statement and wish physical media would come back. And you know what I think? I think that's when Nintendo is going to come out with a console where they're going to be the only company and the only console in the market that still supports physical media. And Sony and Xbox are going to look at it like, wow, you know what? I think we made a mistake with this all digital future, all streaming future. You know what? Let's go ahead and come back out with a console that uses physical media. And you know, I get tired of seeing this physical versus digital. It's been going on for years. Back in the days, in the early 2000s, when Sony tried to go all streaming with the PSP Go, the PSP Go didn't even sell 1 million copies. Let me repeat. The PSP Go, when it first launched, did not sell 1 million hardware sales, and the PSP Go actually flopped and it was dead in water. Microsoft tried the whole streaming thing with the Xbox One back in 2013, and we all know how that went. It blew up in their face, and Xbox hasn't regained ground since. And what does Sony do? Hey, we're going to stick with physical media. You in the bar games, here go your game, you can loan it to your friend. We saw that happen. And the present time, we have the digital PS5 and we have the physical PS5. The physical PS5 outsells the digital PS5 by far. We have the Xbox Series X and we have the Xbox Series S, which is the non-disc Xbox, and that's not doing well in sales, even though Microsoft is just trying to fabricate everything that they're doing well with the hardware sales and the Series S. No, it's not. If you actually look at the sales, the Series S isn't selling at all, and the disc-based Series X is actually outselling the Series S, even though that system is not even selling all that great anyway compared to the PS5, even though the PS5 has a shortage going on. So that's my initial thoughts about physical versus digital. Physical to me will always be better. Having that hard copy, that case, looking at your manuals and the goodies that come with it, even though I think I've gotten sloppy with the goodies that come with the physical media, just having a hard copy is the best thing. Digital, have no issues with it. You can take your library on the go. It's always there. If you lose your console, you can re-download all your games. You still have access to all your games, even if you lose your console or something happens to it. Your library follows you, so that's actually a very, very good thing. Whereas the downside of physical, somebody can steal all your games or some of your games, and we all know physical games are more costly. So if somebody steal your library or several of your games, that's worth a lot of money. Then you have to actually shell out 2-3 times more what you would normally pay for your physical games. But hey, that's just how it is. They both have their pros and their cons, but they both coexist. They've been coexisting beside one another since the early 2000s, and that's cool. I mean, options is a beautiful thing, but these corporations are getting greedy. They're pushing more towards digital, not because of the convenience of it, but it's just to gain more market share, more revenue. You cut out the middleman, you know, the factories that makes the games, the boxes, and you shipping them out across the globe to stores and retail is cutting the middleman out. Like I said, greed. There's always a way to find more money. And, you know, if and when the industry goes all digital, I'm pretty sure they're going to find something else to complain about. I mean, that will never end. And consumers always find something to complain about. But you know, all this, you know, digital versus physical, I don't want to hear it. I just wanted to, you know, give you guys my 2 cents on the whole situation. We all know physical is better all day, physical all day, but I still support digital. They're both great options. It's just a physical is worth money, more money, excuse me guys. And physical games cost more for a reason. They're just not being greedy with it. They know the physical media market has a higher resale value, Honestly, like my library right now, I don't care how many digital games you got. My physical games is worth more than anybody's digital library right now. You can sell your whole system with all your digital games on there, and the buyback price, the resale price is not going to compare to a physical game. Even just one physical game, the physical resale value is just way too high. And also too, I've seen some people try to compare, CDs, DVDs to physical games, and they said, look what happened to Blockbuster. Physical media can go the same way. Let us be real clear about one thing. CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays aren't in the same league as physical games. The game itself may be on those medias, but don't get it twisted. A CD, DVD, and a Blu-ray doesn't hold a value. Those are just movies and music. It's only worth something if a video game is on there. So let's be clear now. A physical media game will be worth more than a DVD, movie, and CD. And for that person that try to compare Radio Shack and Blockbuster, going out of business, GameStop is still a thing. So if by your theory, physical games are going to go the same route as Radio Shack and Blockbuster, GameStop wouldn't be here, limited running games wouldn't be here, and all those retro gaming companies that are out there. And there's a reason why we have companies that limited run and LRG, whatever you call those companies that make physical games, still digital only games into physical media games, and give you the goodies that come with it and whatnot. Retro gaming and physical gaming are still a big business. So by your guys' theory about comparing physical games to Radio Shack, it falls on deaf ears, because the fact of the matter is we have all these retro companies and limited run that still make physical games. That was the case, they wouldn't be here. Limited run games wouldn't be here, and GameStop wouldn't be here. And physical is still in demand. But I've seen, the ratio of like for example, I think I seen somewhere that Sony's 80% of their sale comes from digital. Well, of course, you have these new age kids that don't know better. They don't know about the DRM situation. They don't know about licenses being up and developers can pull their game in the time. You won't be able to play your games offline with a console until, the shit really hits the fan. So they don't know. That's a new age kids that doesn't know what they're talking about, that's hollering that. But us old school gamers, we really know what's up. Physical media, preserving your games is the best thing that can ever happen. This is Red Crimson 102 out. If you're new to my channel, like and subscribe.